Class, in this video we are going to start the topic named vector algebra. We all know that algebra is the branch of mathematics in which we deals with the operations operating on the numbers and some variables. So we also know that the basic operations in maths are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So we are going to apply some basic operations on vectors now, and that field is named as vector algebra. So we are just going to add the vectors, subtract the vectors, and we will see that how we can multiply a vector and a scalar, which is also named as a scalar multiplication. So here we have some basic definitions related to the vector algebra. So vector algebra deals with the operations operating on the vectors. The first definition we are going to discuss is about the equal vectors. Two vectors A and B are said to be equal if they have the same magnitude and same direction. It is irrespective of their position. Now what is meant by irrespective of their position? That at whatever the position the two vectors are having, that is, it is not necessary that they have the same initial point. For example, here we have a vector A and at this point we have vector B. So these two vectors are equal as they are having the same direction and the same magnitude. So if two vectors having the same direction and same magnitude, the vectors are named as equal vectors. The next one is negative of a vector. How we can define the negative of a vector? It is just like additive inverse as we deal with the numbers. So we are just going to opposite the direction. For example, let A be a vector, then negative of A denoted by minus times of A is a vector which have the same magnitude that of A but have the opposite direction. So here we have the vector A and you can see that we are just going to reverse the direction and we are going to have negative of this vector. So having the same magnitude but opposite direction. Next we have addition of vectors. How we can add two vectors. Let A and B be two vectors, then sum of the vector A and B, it will be a vector C generated by placing the initial point of B at the terminal point of A, and then we will join the initial point of A to the terminal point of B. So here you can see, so here we are having two vectors A and B. So here we have vector A and here we have the vector B, and we are going to add the two vectors. So what we are going to do, we are going to simply going to place the initial point of B at the terminal point of A. So here you can see that this is the terminal point of A and we are going to place the initial point of B at this point, and now we will join the initial point of A to the terminal point of B, and you can see the resultant vector is going to be C, which is A plus B. This is also named as a parallelogram law of vector addition. So whatever the two vectors are, and we have, if you have to add the two vectors, you just have to place the initial point of the second vector at the terminal point of the first vector, and then you will get the resultant vector. Next we have the difference of a vector. It is simply the addition of vector A and the negative of the other vector. As you can see that let A and B be the two vectors, then their difference is denoted by A minus B, and you can see that it is the addition of A and negative of B, so A plus minus B. So if this is vector A and this is vector B and we have to subtract the two vectors, or we have to find out the difference of the two vectors, what we are going to do, we are going to add A and minus B. So here you have vector A and you can see that the vector B is in downward direction. So in order to get minus B, we are going to reverse the direction, so it will be in upward direction. So here you can see the vector B minus B, and we are just adding these two to get the resultant A minus B. Next we have a null vector. Null vector, it is a vector with zero magnitude and it is denoted by 0 with a vector overhead. Clearly it has no specific direction because it has no magnitude, but it just plays a role as playing a role of additive identity. As in the case of numbers, 0 is additive identity. Similarly in case of vectors, when we are going to add a vector with its negative, so simply we are going to have a 0 vector because the magnitude is going to be 0 in this case, or the two vectors are going to cancel out each other effects. So a vector which is not null is named as a proper vector. Next we have product of a vector by a scalar. So we by a scalar, so here you can see that let A be a vector and M be a scalar. Scalar means it is any number, it could be positive or negative. The resultant of their product will be a vector denoted by M into A with magnitude M times of the magnitude of A. So whatever the magnitude of a, if we are going to have the scalar multiple of a, m into a, its magnitude will be m times that of a. For example, if m is equal to 2, the magnitude of the resultant vector will be double. If m is equal to 3, the magnitude of the resultant vector will be 3 times of that of a. So here you can also see that if this is a and we are going to find out 2 times of a, so we are just going to double the magnitude and direction. There is no effect on the direction. So as we are saying that m is a scalar, that it is a real number, so it means that it could be 0, it could be positive, or it could be negative. So we are going to discuss the cases that what will happen in different cases. So the first one is m greater than 0, that is if m is positive. If m is positive, then clearly there will be no effect on the direction, and direction will be the same, only the magnitude will affect in this case. Next we have m negative. If m is negative, clearly the direction will be opposite that of a. For example, if this is a and we are going to find out minus 2 times of a, so magnitude will be 2 times, here is 1 times, and this is going to be 2 times, and direction will be opposite now. So here is the resultant vector. If m is equal to 0, clearly we are going to have a null vector as a resultant. Here we have some laws of vector algebra. If a, b and c are vectors and m and n are scalars, then these are just the same laws as we discussed in case of real numbers. So the first one is commutative law of addition. Clearly a plus b will be equal to b plus a. There will be no effect on the resultant. Then we have a plus b plus c will be equal to a plus b plus c, as we discussed about the associative law of real numbers. Similarly, associative law of addition holds for vectors as well. M into a will be equal to a times of a, as we know that it will only affect the magnitude in case of m positive. So it doesn't affect that we are multiplying it from the left hand side or from the right hand side. Similarly, if m into n into a will be equal to m into n into a, m plus n into a will be equal to m a plus n a, because it will affect the magnitude only. M into a plus b will be equal to m a plus m b. So these are some laws that we are going to discuss about the vectors. And then now we are going to discuss about unit vector. As we discussed that the null vector is a vector that have 0 magnitude. Similarly, a unit vector is a vector that have 1 magnitude, or a vector that have the magnitude unit or 1. So if a is a vector with magnitude non-zero, then obviously a over a will be a unit vector, because we are just dividing the magnitude of a by the magnitude of a. So we are going to get a number 1, or the magnitude 1, and the direction will be the same, as we are dividing it by mod of a, or mod of a is always positive. That's why there will be no effect on the direction. Normally we represent the unit vector with the help of a smaller alphabet or the small alphabet. For example, if capital A is the vector, then its unit vector will be represented by the small a. If capital B is the vector, its unit vector will be represented by the small letter b. So here you can see that the unit vector is a vector with magnitude 1, and we can construct the unit vector by dividing the vector by its magnitude.